Within the storage ring, an elder cloaked in shadows slowly spoke, "Quite the lucky fellow." After those words, he disappeared once more. "What's going on?" Xiao Yan's figure flickered, and little E suddenly appeared beside him, signaling that the time for possession had already passed. "I don't know," Xiao Yan responded weakly. "But based on my guess, the sacred flame crystal acted, killing Heart Rock." "The sacred flame crystal acted?" Little E frowned. "It's always been dormant." Xiao Yan smiled. "Since Heart Rock and Fireheart, Heavenly Rock share the same origin, it's not too surprising." "Well, that was a close call. Heart Rock's not easy to deal with." Little E shook his head. "Big brother, there's something inside your body," Little E exclaimed, noticing a flickering light within Xiao Yan, which resembled the glow of the sacred flame crystal in Xiao Yan's palm. "That Heart Rock devoured part of the origin of the sacred flame. Now that it's returned, I'm not sure what's going on," Xiao Yan said, puzzled. "Big brother, you should stabilize your energy first," Little E urged. "That's exactly my plan." Xiao Yan nodded. Without further hesitation, he sat cross-legged, placing the ancient ruler of heavenly flames aside. The sacred flame crystal in his hand resonated with the origin of the sacred flame within his Do Chi Si. "Not sure what might happen," he murmured, closing his eyes to focus on sensing the unusual connection between the sacred flame crystal and his Do Chi Si. Meanwhile, Little E began his own meditation, reflecting on the recent battle. Despite the successful fusion, something felt incomplete to him. While his strength had surged, there was still a sense of something missing. Within Xiao Yan's Do Chi Si, the flame beast stared menacingly at the uninvited guest that had taken up residence. Ever since it had devoured the Fireheart Heavenly Rock in the desert mountain range, the flame beast had sensed this intruder in its domain. This was unacceptable. The Do Chi Si was formed from countless strands of Do Chi, and this intruder was trespassing on its territory, infuriating the flame beast. But no matter how much the flame beast roared, the light remained unaffected, curled up in a ball. The sacred flame crystal hovered nearby, occasionally releasing faint strands of sacred flame power, all of which the flame beast devoured. After consuming even a tiny wisp, the flame beast felt its body become more solid and smaller, a clear sign that Xiao Yan was approaching the Do Xian realm. The flame beast's greatest delight was now the sacred flame crystal. It seemed terrified of the flame beast and didn't dare to confront it. However, with the sacred flame crystal temporarily outside of Xiao Yan's body, the flame beast's gaze turned to the glowing orb of the sacred flame's origin, its eyes gleaming with greed. As the flame beast's body shimmered with radiant colors, flames roared atop its head, exuding an air of dominance. But when it attempted to approach the sacred flame's origin, the origin merely emitted a faint burst of flame, causing the flame beast to immediately quiet down. Even a tiny wisp of that fire was not something to provoke. "Time to fuse," Xiao Yan whispered, carefully guiding the origin of the sacred flame within him to resonate with the sacred flame crystal in his hand. With a subtle control, the origin of the sacred flame within his Do Chi Si surged outward, met by a brilliant glow from the sacred flame crystal. The moment the two made contact, an intense fiery sensation coursed through the sacred flame space. "Merge!" Xiao Yan gritted his teeth against the overwhelming sensation and let out a shout. Although the two forces shared the same source, Heart Rock had tainted the sacred flame with its own energy, making the fusion difficult. Flame Mantra. In that instant, Xiao Yan activated the Flame Mantra, and as it coursed through him, the imperial flame harmonized with the energies, slowly coaxing the Fireheart Heavenly Rock's energy to merge. The process was painstakingly slow. Even this small fragment of origin would take 3 days to fully merge. But Xiao Yan was in no rush. He focused on controlling his Do Chi and the Flame Mantra to support the sacred flame's fusion. Sacred flames are the purest fire energy, the most powerful fire attribute force in the entire world, Xiao Yi reflected. Other than some ancient sacred flames that have cultivated into human form, most remain as flames, and their spirits serve only to guard them. Now, this is what I call a true sacred flame. Having said that, Little E closed his eyes and resumed his own cultivation. Though he had reached the perfect 8-star Do D realm, the gap to 9-star Do D still loomed. This one step had troubled him for a long time. Borrowing the insights from this battle, he hoped to break through. Otherwise, advancing to 9-star Do D might require evolving his fire spirit form. As Xiao Yin continued to merge the sacred flame, his body suddenly trembled as the final moment of fusion arrived. Not good. Xiao Yin shouted loudly, just as he was about to make a move. However, he suddenly felt a force hit him from the Fireheart heavenly rock in front of him. Immediately, Xiao Yin felt as though his soul was being pulled away from the falling spirit mountain. Big brother, is this an out-of-body experience? Little Yi was startled awake by Xiao Yin, but out of trust, he didn't act. Woo woo woo. In a dark and damp place, eerie winds howled around him. Where is this? Xiao Yan's translucent soul body slowly appeared in this strange place, and he murmured to himself. His soul had left his body, and Xiao Yan warily scanned his surroundings. Clang, clang, splash, splash. The sound of chains and flowing water caught Xiao Yan's attention. In the dim void ahead, a figure pierced through by dark chains loomed. The figure's hair was extremely long and messy, clearly unwashed for years. Beneath the chained figure, a strange stream flowed slowly, its destination unknown. When Xiao Yan's gaze fell on the figure's abdomen, he let out a startled exclamation. That is the scent of the sacred flame. In the dark space, a bright red object pulsated slowly within the center of the chained figure, beating powerfully like a heart. Though Xiao Yan's soul was separated from his body, he immediately recognized that this was the power of the sacred flame. And more than that, he realized that the figure in front of him was the same as the sacred flame soul seed he had once obtained in the forest of EngSubs. This sacred flame was indeed the very one he had acquired before. However, his brief excitement was quickly replaced by confusion. Sacred flames don't usually produce a soul seed, unless it has been controlled by the extraterritorial evil clan or some evil entity. Could it be this sacred flame? Xiao Yin closely examined the figure, noticing the eerie, black aura flowing around its body. Without the sacred flame's bright red energy, the figure would have long been corroded beyond recognition. Master Xian, all these years you've guarded this place, and the king has missed you dearly. Not far from Xiao Yin, two figures slowly approached. One of the figures was familiar to Xiao Yin. It was none other than Wen Zi, the national master of the Xianling royal family. Wen Zi stared respectfully at the elderly man approaching, who looked worn with age, the hardships of a long life etched deeply on his face. The old man wore simple clothes, his white hair and beard adding to his aged appearance. Judging by Wen Zi's attitude toward him, the old man's status was clearly very high. How has the Xianling king been lately? The old man asked slowly. The king has just returned from Medusa's divine hall, but, regarding that matter, Wen Zi hesitated. Forget it. I didn't expect that the Medusa clan would produce someone with the true bloodline of the sky-devouring python and even gain the clan's inheritance. We must remain cautious. The old man shook his head. Enough, let's leave it at that for now. We'll talk more later. The old man gestured as Wen Zi began walking deeper into the underground chamber. Understood. Wen Zi nodded knowingly and left immediately. Once Wen Zi was gone, the old man's gaze shifted to the man bound by chains, and he murmured, Yin Qi. All those years ago, we used nearly all of the Xianling royal family's power to subdue both sacred flames, but only managed to capture you. The other sacred flame escaped under your protection. However, I believe she will return one day, as long as you're here. For all these years, you've resisted with the power of the sacred flame, but we've made arrangements with the ghost realm. It seems the sacred flame's strength is nearly spent. When the time comes, you will be sacrificed. Ha ha ha. The old man's laughter echoed eerily through the dark chamber. The figure bound by chains, its eyes blackened as if under control, suddenly had its crimson heart pulse vigorously a few times. The figure's eyes regained clarity for a moment, and it muttered, I sense her presence. Xiao Yin shuddered as the figure's gaze fixed on him. The strength of this figure was terrifyingly deep. Even with just a glance, Xiao Yin felt utterly defeated, as though any thoughts of resistance had been crushed. Who's there, daring to spy on this place? The old man's sharp gaze suddenly locked onto Xiao Yan's soul form, his voice booming with immense power. Damn it! I've been discovered. Xiao Yan cursed inwardly. Without hesitation, he turned and fled. In his current soul form, any damage would have dire consequences, potentially affecting his future cultivation. Little brat. Die. The white-haired elder moved swiftly, his hand emanating a force of black and white life and death energy, aiming directly at Xiao Yan. Not good. A Do Xian's attack. Xiao Yan, despite his speed, had no chance against a Do Xian. His eyes flashed with determination as he prepared to self-destruct his soul body. The resulting explosion would create enough energy to let a fragment of his soul escape. Otherwise, if his soul was destroyed, the consequences would be catastrophic. Boom, boom. Just as Xiao Yan was about to act, a flame-red fire suddenly appeared 10 meters in front of him. Swish, swish. As the two attacks collided, a terrifying force of spatial destruction erupted, causing ripples that made the very fabric of space tremble and shatter. Hurry, go. A cold voice echoed in Xiao Yan's mind. Immediately, the crimson flame's light dimmed slightly. Thank you, Senior. Xiao Yan knew well that the crimson flame belonged to the chained Senior. As for why this figure had saved him, he had no idea. With the cold voice's command, Xiao Yan's figure blurred and vanished from the space in an instant. Damn it! Yanqi. The Do Xian elder's face contorted with rage as he saw Xiao Yan escape. Heh, you lot, trying to consume my power, control me. But it's not that easy. A broken and disjointed voice emanated from the Crimson Heart. Hmph! That brat was from the Incense Pavilion. I sensed a familiar energy from him. You won't last much longer either, but we'll settle both new and old scores with the Incense Pavilion. The Do Xian elder fell silent after this declaration, seating himself on a platform and closing his eyes, resuming his guard over the area. Incense Pavilion. I wonder how that old Finchen is doing these days. The voice from the Crimson Heart faded, and its eyes dulled to a lifeless gray once more. Peace returned to the space once again. Inside the spirit of the falling spirit mountain, within Xiao Yan's sacred flame space. Cough, cough, cough. Xiao Yan's eyes shot open, and a mouthful of blood spewed out. He gasped for air, his chest heaving. Facing the Do Xian elder's overwhelming attack just moments ago, if not for the mysterious figure's intervention, Xiao Yan would have been forced to use his last resort, one with a price too heavy to bear. Big brother, are you all right? Little he asked with concern, their connection allowing him to sense Xiao Yan's distress. I'm fine. I just merged with the true Fireheart Heavenly Rock and lost control for a bit. Xiao Yan smiled weakly. Though he had chosen to trust Little E, Xiao Yan didn't want him to worry, so he kept the truth of the situation to himself. That's good to hear. Little E sighed with relief. Because of that scoundrel, Heart Rock, I fear the sacred flame's power didn't allow Flame Mantra to fully evolve. Xiao Yan chuckled. He gazed at the brilliantly glowing, earth-yellow sacred flame in his hand, while a wave of joy surged from deep within his body, radiating from the incense pavilion flame. It's time. Xiao Yan closed his eyes for a while, slowly regaining the strength he had spent in that mysterious space. For some reason, within the sacred flame space, Xiao Yan's power seemed to be growing stronger. His strength was only at the late 6-star Do D level, but within this space, it had risen to the perfect 6-star Do D. Even the speed at which his Do Chi recovered was more than 3 times faster than in the outside world. This time, let's see how powerful Flame Mantra can truly become after its evolution. Xiao Yan muttered with anticipation. As he spoke, he began to circulate the Flame Mantra inside his body. Heh, that kid's finally subdued the true sacred flame and is ready to evolve the Flame Mantra. I thought he wouldn't notice the ambitions of the sacred flame spirit, but it seems that not only has his strength grown during my slumber, but his mindset has matured as well. Still, the fact that Long Yi has also fallen into slumber is unexpected. Obtaining this sacred flame isn't as simple as it seems. the figure of the Golden Dragon King muttered inside the storage ring. Though his tone was filled with relief, his voice carried a hint of pride. The Golden Dragon King's aura had improved drastically since his previous seclusion. The difference between then and now was like night and day. The first time that old Tuasha used the sacred flame to evolve flame mantra is still fresh in my memory. If this kid can't handle it. The Golden Dragon King's voice trailed off with a touch of concern as he quietly watched Xiao Yan's every move from within. Fireheart Heavenly Rock. Come forth. Xiao Yan laughed loudly, and from the sacred flame crystal in his hand, a brilliant burst of sacred flame origin energy surged forth, appearing directly in front of his chest. The dazzling flame energy was none other than the sacred flame origin itself. Though it appeared to be just a small earth-yellow flame, if one wasn't prepared, even a typical Do-D expert could be incinerated into nothingness. Don't disappoint me. Xiao Yan murmured to himself, and without hesitation, swallowed the sacred flame origin whole. To evolve flame mantra with the power of the sacred flame, this was the only way. After consuming the sacred flame origin, Xiao Yan directed his surging Do Qi towards the flame mantra, deep within his body, for it to absorb and complete its evolution. Boom, boom, boom. As flame mantra was driven by an overwhelming surge of Do Qi, it let out a joyful hum. Without any further delay, it began to devour the sacred flame origin. Swish, swish. Previously, flame mantra had already evolved once when Xiao Yan first absorbed the sacred flame, but the evolution had not been completed. Now, however, the complete Fireheart Heavenly Rock held the power necessary for flame mantra's full evolution. Boom, boom, boom. The terrifying power of the sacred flame and the Do Qi fluctuations were continuously absorbed by flame mantra, and soon mysterious symbols and patterns appeared deep within Xiao Yan's mind. Though Xiao Yan couldn't comprehend these symbols, he instinctively knew that they were no ordinary marks. Flame mantra. 6 stages in total. Although devouring the sacred flame had allowed the flame mantra to evolve, Xiao Yan had always known that it hadn't truly reached its first major stage. Thinking back, the main reason for this was likely due to the incomplete origin of the sacred flame. When he had previously devoured the Fireheart Heavenly Rock, a portion of the sacred flame's origin had been absorbed by the Heart Rock, which led to the current situation. Enough thinking. Xiao Yan stopped pondering and immediately collided the complete sacred flame with the flame mantra inside his body. Boom, boom, boom. As soon as the two forces touched, the violent power of the sacred flame surged wildly through his body. Ah! Xiao Yan screamed in agony. His entire body was wrapped in an earth-yellow sacred flame, and its energy flowed through every part of his body. His limbs, his bones, his soul Si, and his Do Qi Si. Damn it! Xiao Yan gritted his teeth, his bloodshot eyes glaring viciously. Just a mere sacred flame, he roared. I refuse to believe I can't conquer you. Calm down. With a sudden outburst, Xiao Yan commanded the flame mantra to produce streams of flame Do Qi, which slowly started to consume the sacred flame's origin. Strangely enough, the moment the sacred flame's origin felt the touch of the flame mantra's Do Qi, it fled rapidly, as if it feared being devoured. Ah! Xiao Yan's screams continued to echo within the sacred flame space. This kid, the Golden Dragon King chuckled. To think he passed through the first realm of scorched body so easily. Though Xiao Yan was being tormented by the sacred flame, the strength of his body was undeniably increasing at a staggering rate. The Golden Dragon King vividly remembered when the ancient Emperor Tuasha entered the first realm of scorched body. He had nearly perished. The difference between the two was clear. In the falling Spirit Mountain range, Qin Xian Muingying, are you both all right? Stone Yuan, appearing with his usual clumsy charm, immediately scanned the summit of Boundless Mountain, spotting the two women. Seeing that they seemed unharmed, Xiong Yuan quickly spoke up. We're fine, it's just... Xiao Yan and the king of Boundless Mountain both seemed to have vanished. Qin Xian shook her head slightly. In that last moment, Qin Xian had only noticed the weakened Boundless Mountain king and Xiao Yan disappearing, but where they went remained unknown. Vanished? Mu Shuzi's heart sank upon hearing this, and a wave of unease spread through his body. Xiao Yin was a prized asset of the human hall, and if anything happened to him, he would be to blame. Moreover, Elder Zhu held Xiao Yin in such high regard that he wouldn't let Mu Shuzi off easily. How did they disappear? Mu Shuzi asked, his tone hesitant. The Boundless Mountain King's strength was on par with Xiong Yuan and Mu Shuzi. If Xiao Yin had indeed been taken by the Boundless Mountain King, I don't know, Qin Xian replied, but Mu Yingying added softly, I can sense that he's fine. Mu Yingying's storage ring still held the 5-element beast's body, magic core, and essence blood. Qin Xian had declined to take them, so Mu Yingying had kept them without hesitation. She wasn't sure what Xiao Yin wanted with these items, but from his previous expression, she knew they were of great importance to him. Let's just leave. Now that the spirit of falling spirit rain is gone, this place will soon vanish as well, Xiong Yuan suggested after a careful look around revealed nothing unusual. Let's go, Mu Shuzi agreed, shaking his head. Just as the four were about to leave the falling spirit mountain, a cheerful voice rang out. Vice Hall Master. Xiao Yin. Mu Yingying exclaimed as Xiao Yin appeared. I'm fine. The king of Boundless Mountain took me to a strange space and tried to devour the flame within me, but somehow it backfired, Xiao Yin explained, somewhat helplessly. Well, since you're all right, let's head back. This team competition was full of flaws anyway. It's best we return and figure things out, Xiong Yuan said, motioning for the group to leave. He didn't ask any further questions about the flame in Xiao Yan's body, taking Xiao Yan's explanation at face value. Is it really over? That 5-element beast? Xiao Yan seemed reluctant to leave, but a quick sweep with his spiritual power showed no trace of the 5-element beast, so he sighed and left. With that, the Falling Spirit Mountain team competition officially came to an end. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. Xiong Yuan and the others left the Falling Spirit Mountain and returned to the Incense Pavilion. You lot, head back first. We'll notify you about the rewards later, Mu Shuzi smiled. Understood. Qin Xian and the others dispersed, while Mu Yingying and Xiao Yin made their way back to their respective quarters. Little E, ever since Xiao Yin had left the sacred flame space, remained dormant within his body. These guys really are the bane of the Incense Pavilion. Wherever they go, they turn everything upside down, Xiong Yuan remarked as he watched them leave. Although the exact details were unclear, the spirit of Falling Spirit Mountain had perished, leaving the mountain's special space a mere shadow of what it once was. With only a few years left until the Sect Grand Competition, I'm confident that this time, our human hall and the Incense Pavilion will shine brightly, Mu Shuzi said with a smile. Oh, right, about your human hall's heaven-shifting ruler, Xiong Yuan recalled. That's been an enigma since the founding of the sect. Apart from the first pavilion master, no one has been able to master it. Even now, no disciple has succeeded in cultivating it. It's puzzling, Mu Shuzi replied. The heaven-shifting ruler was said to be immensely powerful, but no one truly knew how terrifying it could be, as no one had ever mastered it. We'll have to leave that for later. For now, let's focus on sending these guys into the hierarchical cultivation grounds. The Hall Master has sent word that some ruins are likely to emerge in about half a year. Mu Shuzi mused after a moment of thought, a contemplative look on his face. Ruins in half a year? Half a year should be enough time for them to enhance their strength in the hierarchical cultivation grounds. When the ruins appear, it'll be the perfect opportunity for them to hone their skills, Mu Shuzi explained. Then, the sect competition will follow. Xiong Yuan mentally calculated, slowly planning ahead. Let's go. For now, we should report back to Elder Qing. Mu Shuzi nodded before heading towards Elder Qing's location. Why haven't Xiao Yin and the others returned yet? It's driving me crazy. Mu Feng paced anxiously within the bamboo pavilion, looking off into the distance. Don't worry, Xiao Yin has always been favored by fate. He'll be fine, Lu Di quickly comforted him. This whole team competition feels strange to me. Do you think the sect set us up? Mu Feng's frustration bubbled over. When he thought it through carefully, it seemed that this sect team trial, supposedly a competition where their 10 teams would battle for first place within the Falling Spirit Mountain, was more of a trap. The Incense Pavilion must have known that Falling Spirit Mountain was fraught with danger, sending them there for so-called training. This was clearly a setup. Well, we did make it through some parts, Lu Di conceded with a shake of her head, though she couldn't entirely dismiss Mu Feng's frustration. Forget it. Let's just wait and see, Mu Feng said, scanning the surroundings before muttering to himself. Big brother. After Xiao Yin and Mu Yingying parted ways with Qin Xian, little E, who had been residing within Xiao Yan's body, suddenly emerged. Though Mu Yingying had been startled by little Yi's sudden appearances in the past, she had grown used to it by now. Are you all right? Mu Yingying and Xiao Yin had shared some harrowing experiences, so Xiao Yin didn't hold back when asking. I'm fine. I was a bit weakened after staying attached to you for so long, but now I've mostly recovered, little E replied warmly, touched by Xiao Yan's genuine concern. Your strength seems to have reached the saturation point of a perfect 8-star Do Di? Xiao Yin was surprised. Though little E was a flame spirit with terrifying strength, her rapid growth was still shocking. More or less. But I feel that to break through the 8-star Do Di, I'll need either to enter the next growth phase or acquire some heavenly treasures, little E explained slowly. The amount of fire energy required to advance to the next stage is immense, and even though I possess the sacred flame, it's not enough. For now, we'll have to rely on those heavenly treasures. I'll keep an eye out for you, Xiao Yan reassured. All right. Little E felt a surge of emotion from Xiao Yan's careful planning and was momentarily at a loss for words. Let's head back. Mu Yingying interjected gently, noticing that little E seemed momentarily lost in thought, and soon enough, little E returned to her usual self. At Elder Qing's residence in the incense pavilion, the place was simple and elegant, with a modest entrance. At this moment, a young woman hurriedly pushed the door open. Back already? Elder Qing said lazily, sitting at the table without turning around. He didn't need to guess who it was. Only his prized disciple would be bold enough to enter without knocking. Teacher, that Xiao Yin is incredibly strong. Qin Xian didn't mince words after pushing the door open. Now you realize how formidable he is? I recall someone once said there were no outstanding individuals in the human hall. Well, now it seems. Elder Qing chuckled humorously, teasing Qin Xian. Teacher. Qin Xian's cheeks flushed with embarrassment, and she protested coyly. All right. How did things go? Elder Qing's tone shifted as he sensed that his typically calm disciple was somewhat flustered, prompting him to inquire about the matter at hand. Just as you said, the master of Boundless Mountain attempted to gather all the death beasts in Falling Spirit Mountain to break through the mysterious spatial confinement and enter the human realm. But I didn't expect the master of Boundless Mountain to be the three-tailed demon fox, Qin Xian explained. The three-tailed demon fox, is it? As I thought, Elder Qing responded calmly, showing no surprise. You knew? Qin Xian asked, her brows slightly furrowed. More or less. But I didn't expect it to be that one. Elder Qing's voice carried a tinge of sorrow. All right, take some rest. Don't worry about Falling Spirit Mountain anymore. Your next task is to train in the hierarchical cultivation grounds and master the guardian art of the Heaven Hall. I expect you to shine in the upcoming sect competition, Elder Qing said with anticipation. Understood, teacher. Qin Xian replied, bowing slightly before leaving. Using her senses, she noticed that Vice Hall Masters Xiong Yuan and Mu Shuzi had arrived, likely to handle the aftermath of the Falling Spirit Mountain incident. Xiao Yin, you're strong, but I won't lose to you. Qin Xian muttered to herself as she headed back to her residence, her determination to grow stronger swelling within her. In the Earth Hall of the Incense Pavilion. Where's my father? A graceful figure approached, asking the two men guarding the entrance. Miss, we're sorry, but the hall master has ordered no visitors lately, the guards replied, looking troubled. They knew this was Ling Xian, the hall master's beloved daughter. Letting her through could mean trouble if the hall master blamed them, but refusing her entry might result in even bigger trouble. What's happened to my father? Why is he refusing to see anyone? Young miss, this is the hall master's order. Please don't make things difficult for us. The two guards spoke, with a hint of awkwardness. I won't make it hard for you. Because I'll go in myself, Ling Xian said, her big eyes fluttering slightly. Suddenly, a surge of dou qi surrounded her, and her speed soared to its peak. Like a nimble rabbit, she dashed straight toward the door. "Stop her!" The two guards exchanged glances, and in an instant, an overwhelming aura burst forth. Late 6-star Dou D. These two guards, who appeared ordinary in both looks and power, had actually reached the late stage of 6-star Dou D. Even within the Earth Hall and Human Hall of the Incense Pavilion, 6-star Dou Dis at this level were considered pillars of strength. Yet, they had been reduced to mere gatekeepers, something unheard of. Swish! The two guards moved in a flash, appearing right in front of Ling Xian. "You!" Ling Xian, seeing her path blocked, grew furious. Just as she was about to make a scene, a voice came from inside the room. "Let her in." It was a familiar voice, carrying an oppressive, unfathomable presence. "Please." Since the hall master had spoken, the two guards couldn't object and stepped aside to clear the way. "Humph!" Ling Xian snorted playfully and strode inside with an exaggerated swagger. "Father, did you see those two guards at the door? They wouldn't let me in. What are they thinking? Do they not know who I am?" Ling Xian puffed up indignantly, her voice deliberately loud enough for the two guards to hear. "Damn it, this girl." The two guards cursed inwardly at her words. "Don't blame them. It was my decision." The Earth Hall Master spoke, and an invisible force appeared, instantly cutting off the sound. "Your idea?" Ling Xian asked, puzzled. "Yes. Ever since you entered Falling Spirit Mountain, it seems that people from the Ghost Realm have been appearing around our Incense Pavilion. I've been conducting a thorough investigation," the Earth Hall Master explained. "People from the Ghost Realm? What are they here for?" Ling Xian asked, her playful demeanor vanishing as she grasped the gravity of the situation. "We're not sure yet, but several entrances between the Ghost Realm and Mystic Three Heavens have shown significant cracks. It's only a matter of time before they completely break open. A war between the Ghost Realm and Mystic Three Heavens is inevitable." The Earth Hall Master's voice was filled with solemnity. "Father," Ling Xian called softly. Since her older sister had left the Incense Pavilion for training, Ling Xian had become her father Ling Mengxing's most pampered child. It was rare to see him with such a grave expression. "Don't worry about these matters. Your focus should be on the hierarchical cultivation grounds. Once you're in, your strength will improve significantly, and you'll have a much better chance at the sect competition." Ling Mengxing smiled. "Father, about that Xiao Yin from Human Hall?" Ling Xian shifted the topic, knowing these were not matters she should concern herself with. "Xiao Yin from Human Hall, huh? Why do you ask about him?" Ling Mengxing's eyes glinted with a hint of curiosity, though inwardly, he couldn't help but smile. "What, don't you fancy any of the talented youths in our Earth Hall, and instead have your eyes set on someone from Human Hall?" he asked, pretending to be calm. No. It's just that when we entered Falling Spirit Mountain, I sensed the guy was really strong. I wanted to know more about him." Ling Xian hurriedly tried to brush it off, but her hesitant tone did little to escape Ling Mengxing's sharp eye. "Don't worry. I've already looked into his background. He's an alchemist from the Yu clan on the border of the Xinling continent. He joined our Incense Pavilion after winning first place in the points competition. Though he had some luck during the competition, it's a fact that he personally killed the twin ghost emperors." There was a note of admiration in Ling Mengxing's voice. "So, it's true." Ling Xian had always been skeptical about the rumors, but hearing it from her father left her amazed. Not only is he strong, but his alchemy skills aren't lacking either. It's said that even before entering the Incense Pavilion, he had already reached the first-rank Imperial class. By now, he's likely even more advanced. Ling Mengxing added. "What?" Ling Xian was stunned. She recalled the pill Xiao Yin had given her in Falling Spirit Mountain. Its quality and potency were far beyond that of typical Imperial-class pills. On the Dou Di continent, alchemists were revered even more than Dou Qi warriors. So, thinking about it, before that kid grows any further, should I snatch him up for you? Ling Mengxing teased, but before he could finish, Ling Xian's delicate hand pinched his waist in protest. "Ouch! Ouch! My dear daughter, it hurts." Ling Mingxing quickly stopped, though he continued mumbling. Oh, come on. It doesn't hurt. Father, you're getting more and more improper in your old age. Xiao Yin may be strong, but I'm no pushover either. I'm not inferior to him. Besides, that sort of thing can't be forced. Even if it happens, I want it to be fair and square. Ling Xian muttered quietly to herself. All right, go get some rest. Tomorrow, we'll be entering the hierarchical cultivation grounds. Ling Mingxing, having heard every word, chose not to comment and smoothly shifted the conversation. Okay. Take care of yourself, father. Don't just focus on cultivating. Ling Xian, knowing her father's personality, reminded him with a smile before leaving for her own quarters. Heh, Xiao Yin. You've actually managed to make my icy little princess care so much about you. Let's see who you really are. Ling Mingxing exclaimed before sitting cross-legged, immediately resuming his cultivation. At that moment, two distinct forces, one black and one white, manifested on his body, intertwining gracefully under his precise control, nourishing him continuously. Such power. He had truly ascended to the 9-turn 9-star realm,